Leon Rose, you've done it again. Let's talk about it. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. As we have a video in store today where we just need to appreciate the way that Leon Rose continues to cook as the head of basketball operations for the New York Knicks. Why are we making this video today? Because today, Stephen Curry, the best point guard of all time in my opinion, the best shooter of the basketball to ever walk this planet, signed a contract extension, a one-year extension, worth almost $63 million. When I first saw that, I was like, you know what? He deserves that. He probably deserves a little bit more money. But I think we also have to keep it honest. Jalen Brunson is that dude, man. When you stack up how much money Stephen Curry over the next 3 years is going to be making over what Jalen Brunson is going to be making, it is unreal. This might be not the best contract in the modern landscape of basketball. This might be the best value deal of any American professional athlete. Steph Curry is making $55.7 million this season. Jalen Brunson is making $24.9. Then Curry goes up to almost 60. Jalen goes up to almost 35. Think about it like this. Stephen Curry in 2024-2025, this year Steph Curry is going to be making $55.7 million. Jalen Brunson over the next 2 seasons is making $59.9 million. Think about it like this. Next 2 years, Jalen Brunson's making $59.9 million. Stephen Curry just signed a 1-year, $63 million contract extension. And I'm not making this video to try to diminish what Stephen Curry is, what he's done. Stephen Curry deserves more money than that. The Golden State Warriors owe Steph Curry billions of dollars. Like, that is just what it is. The Warriors, before Curry put on that jersey, were a bottom-feeding organization in the National Basketball Association. Now they are looked at as a blue blood, and that's not what it was 15, 20 years ago. He deserves even more money than he is getting. Steph's the best point guard of all time, in my opinion. I know some OGs watching this show are going to be like, Marsh, you're just a young little pup. You're a young whippersnapper. You don't know nothing about Magic Johnson. And I know. I didn't get to see Magic Johnson play in his prime. I've watched the YouTube clips. I've watched full games. That's not going to do it justice, but I have never seen a point guard in my lifetime do what Steph Curry does on a basketball floor. But dare I say, and I'll say it, people are mad at me in the Chat Sports offices. Everyone, Marshall, you don't know ball. It's the same people that when I said this today told me that Jalen Brunson was overpaid, that the Knicks shouldn't have signed Jalen Brunson, that he's not very good. But you know what? I've never been someone that's afraid to speak my mind and go out on a ledge and look back and be like, oh, I'm the only one here. That makes me even more confident in my takes when I'm the lone wolf on it. Jalen Brunson, right now, not ever, not all time, not looking at everything in their career, but today, and for this upcoming season, Jalen Brunson is a better NBA player than Steph Curry. We're going to break that down on today's show as well as look at Brunson versus other point guards in this league and stack up how much money he's making against guys like Lamelo Ball and Darius Garland. But before we do, and we do a deep dive, I want to hear from you. If you had to have a point guard on your team for next season, 1 year, next season, who would it be? Is it the chef? Is it the captain? Let me know your thoughts. Let's just look at some normal numbers, right? The raw counting numbers. The ones that everyone talks about, which are the most surface level in the league, right? Jalen Brunson averaged more points per game than Steph Curry last year. Jalen Brunson averaged more assists per game than Stephen Curry. Steph Curry averaged more rebounds. He's always been a great rebounding guard. But it's weird because they shot almost the same percentage from three, and Brunson shot better from the field. But you know what? Those numbers don't tell the full story. So what about we just talk about team success? Because Steph Curry played 70-plus games this year. It was awesome. He was healthy, one of my favorite players to ever play That is not a Knick. Offensive rating. How many points does your team score per 100 possessions? I think that shows a pretty good value of how good of an offensive engine you are. And 119 is awesome. 119 points per 100 possessions for the Warriors when Curry's on the floor. That is amazing. What's even better is Jalen Brunson and his team scoring 124 points per 100 possessions. But you know what? That's not everything. Let's talk about their 2023-2024 playoff stats. Oh, wait. The Warriors didn't make the playoffs in 2023-2024. So I went back and, I tried to make it as even as possible. His most recent playoff run, where they were awesome, right? They won the first round series, then lost in 7 to the Los Angeles Lakers when they advanced to the Western Conference Finals. Jalen Brunson averaged more points. Jalen Brunson averaged more assists. And Curry once again averaged more rebounds. Curry shot better from the field and much better from 3. So you could talk about they're relatively the same is what I would say in their most recent playoff run, except that Steph Curry might have had a little bit more help and his second best player was not the power forward Josh Hart. What about their 2023-2024 season accolades? Jalen Brunson, second team All-NBA, should have been first team. Steph Curry, third team All-NBA. Both were All-Stars. And Steph Curry won the Clutch Player of the Year. Not sure how he was clutch if they lost in the first round of the play-in and didn't even make the play-in. But, you know what? I won't argue that. Jalen Brunson, fifth in MVP. Okay, that's just not all that. So what about for all the NBA fans that live in a spreadsheet? The ones that want to look at the advanced analytics. I thought I'd bring them up. I don't think these numbers tell the full story, but if we're going to bring up all of the information, let's at least look at it from, I would say, every angle, right? You talk about their win shares per 48 minutes. Jalen Brunson, much bigger than Stephen Curry. Their offensive box plus minus, about the same. Their defensive box plus minus. Steph Curry, a little bit better on the defensive side of that. What about just their box plus minus? Jalen Brunson, better. And their VORP, Jalen Brunson, better. I don't want to make today's video to shit on Stephen Curry. I think I would say that outside of a player that's never played for the Knicks, Stephen Curry is my favorite NBA player to ever watch. It is artwork. He is a magician out there. It is a lot of fun. But I wanted to make today's video to make sure that Knicks fans appreciate what they have. And I think you do. But I also wanted to let you know that Jalen Brunson, he is that dude. And we need to start, I think Knicks fans do it, but I also think there's people across the world that still want to disrespect a guy that in the last 4 games against the Philadelphia 76ers in the playoffs, averaged 42 points per game and 10 assists. But we'll talk more about that around the corner. If you ride with Jalen Brunson and you ride with this channel, go to chatsports.com/realknicks. That is chatsports.com/realknicks. Get your Real One t-shirt today and be ready to go for the NBA season. We've got blue. We've got black. We want to sell more merch. You guys always tell me, Marsh, we need more merch. Well, since we do, help us out. Buy merch. You will make more merch. That's what the bosses have told me. To kind of just go away from the Steph Curry thing and just to put this into even more perspective, Jalen Brunson is the 15th highest paid point guard in 2025-2026. I didn't want to do 2024, 2025 because Brunson's contract extension would not have kicked in there. So I thought it would tell more of the story if we look about the first year for his contract extension, 2025, 2026. Look at some of the names that are making more money than him. Damian Lillard is making $20 more million than Jalen Brunson. Not this upcoming year. 2 years from now, Trae Young making more than $10 million than Jalen Brunson. Tyrese Haliburton, $10 more million than Jalen Brunson. Fred VanVleet, $10 more million than Jalen Brunson. Darius Garland makes $5 more million. Cade Cunningham, who I love, but he's irrelevant in the NBA at this moment. Lamelo Ball makes more money than Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson just cooked Tyrese Maxey in that playoff series, and he makes more money than him. De'Aaron Fox makes more money. And to bring it all home and tie this up in a nice, beautiful knot, my guy, Emmanuel Quickley, makes $2 million less than Jalen Brunson. We don't deserve him, man. We don't. We do not deserve Jalen Brunson as New York Knicks fans. But to get back onto the train here, Jalen Brunson is the best small guard in the NBA. And the fact that the Knicks are paying him as the 15th highest paid player in this team, that's just going to help continue to build this team. And that's why you're able to go out and get a Mikal Bridges. Why you're able to go out and get an OG Anunoby and pay a Dante DiVincenzo and pay a Josh Hart and keep Randall on the books and pay Mitchell Robinson and do all these things. It's because of the captain. Captain doing what he does and just being a winner and willing to win, do whatever it takes to win at all costs. And there's no other small guard, in my humble opinion, that can carry a team like Jalen Brunson. To bring Steph Curry back into it, if I had to choose either Steph Curry this year to be the best player on my team or Jalen Brunson to be the best player on my team, I would choose Jalen Brunson because day in, day out, night in, night out, 82 games, he can carry your team in the playoffs. He can carry your team at this state. Not saying that Stephen Curry can't. But I will say if I had to have a second best player on a team, it would be Steph Curry because he could play a little bit better off ball. And he's not a guy that's going to dribble the ball consistently. He likes to play off ball. He likes to move off ball. Where Jalen Brunson, he single-handedly beat the Philadelphia 76ers by himself. The dude averaged 35.5 points per game and 9 assists against Philly with them blitzing him play after play. Whether it was this 6'8" wing, whether it was that 6'8" wing, it did not matter. They got cooked. This Jalen Brunson is special. He is the best small guard in the NBA. And it's crazy to say that guy wears a jersey with New York across his chest. My question to you before we bounce on out of here. You may agree with me. You may disagree with me. But what you can't disagree with is that the best two small point guards in the NBA are Jalen Brunson and Steph Curry. Whatever order you want to have, that's sure. You could do that. I don't care. But I just hope that you have a little bit more educated and maybe you just respect Jalen Brunson a little bit more. What do you think? Jalen Brunson is the blank best guard in the NBA. If you haven't yet, give me a follow over on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Knicks.